Hey Canucks fans, welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary for Tuesday, March the 12th. I'm Clay Emo, I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter, I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram, I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take. Today I'm going to talk about Quinn Hughes. Once again, yes, it's the third straight day I'm talking about him, but hey, we're excited, I'm excited, and that's what happens when you have 3 full days between Canucks games. Last played on Saturday, I lost to Vegas. They host the New York Rangers tomorrow night. We'll see if Quinn Hughes is going to play. Maybe not. Got to get his bruised ankle looked at. But today I'm going to talk about expectations, tempering those expectations, and also some attributes of his game that maybe we haven't talked about a lot over the past couple of days. But I'll get to that in a second. Firstly, the Canucks practice today, full practice, team photo day as well. So a lot of bodies around, even the injured guys. And this is how they lined up. They had Horvat with Pearson and Roussel. They had Pedersen with Besser and Levo. Then the third line was Gaudette, Virtanen, Godobin with Granlund swapping in. And then fourth line, Beagle, Mott, and Eriksson with Tim Schaller swapping in. Also, Ryan Spooner is back on the ice, so that's 3 extra forwards. Throw in Sven Berchi, that's 4 extra forwards the Canucks have right now. Berchi's still injured there for team photo day, but was not skating today. On D, 4 full pairs. You had Edler and Biega. Then it was Breezeball with Troy Stetcher, and then Pouliot and Shen, and then Sautner and Tanev. So depending on if Tanev is good to go tomorrow, I'm not sure if he will be good to go, but if he is good to go, interesting to see if Sautner, who he practiced with, becomes his partner tomorrow night, or if they put Pouliot in instead of him. But likely Shen will be sitting, and at least obviously one more guy. So, and that's with Ben Hutton not practicing. So there's 9 D-men. 8 of them practicing today, 4 full pairs, and then you have, of course, Markstrom and Demko. So, I expect tomorrow, let's say Tanev doesn't play, I hope he does, but he might not be ready, and I'm presuming that Granlund, Spooner, and Tim Schaller would all be the healthy scratches, but we will find out more tomorrow. Let's talk about Quinn Hughes one more time, 3 days in a row, and I was really inspired or motivated to make this particular video on this particular topic, his attributes, because I've been listening to a lot of interviews, and not just interviews of media guys, but interviews with coaches. Quinn Hughes coaches over the past couple of years. Mel Pearson out of Michigan, right, who's coached him for the last 2 years. Then I can't remember his name, but I heard an interview with the coach of the U.S. under 18 or 18 under or under 18 development team, and both coaches had almost very similar things to say. And of course, this all falls under the guise of managing expectations, tempering expectations. But as I've spoken about the last couple of days, we get excited here in Vancouver because there hasn't been a lot to be excited about. That's why we got so excited about Brock Besser 2 years ago and last season. That's why we got so excited about Elias Pettersson this season, and we still are. And that's why we are so excited about Quinn Hughes. It was interesting. I put a poll question up yesterday. I said, what are you more excited about? Are you more excited about Pettersson's Calder Trophy chase, which I'd still say he's the favorite, or are you more excited about Quinn Hughes' debut? And had over 200 votes, and it was very close, actually. He was 50-50 for a while, but then the Pettersson-Calder chase started to take a bit of a lead, and last time I checked, it was 54% for Pettersson's Calder chase and 46% for Hughes' debut. So still really respectable numbers on both sides. Obviously, 2 exciting things for Canucks fans to get excited about. So I did another poll for today's video, and today's video was this, of Quinn Hughes. Actually, before I get to that question, this question was kind of inspired. The catalyst for this question was indeed these 2 interviews that I started talking about Mel Pearson and then his other coach from the U.S. national development team, 18 and under or under 18. Can't remember exactly what it is, but they said the same things. They said his fearlessness, his skating, and his edge work, and that's something that I think we've all seen. His hockey IQ. The way he can he's a one-man breakout, they said, a one-man breakout from the defensive zone, the way he can gain the zone, and like I said, his skating and his creativity, his competitiveness, his pride, all these things. So all these really good things that gets me excited when I hear these things. Of course, he's only 19 years old. Of course, he's not too small. We would never say that. But he's a smaller body. Physically, he is. So he may lose a couple puck battles in the corner or in front of the net. And he's still figuring out how to play full-time against men, right? Against the NHL players, the best league in the world. So there are a lot of things. There are a lot of reasons why maybe Hughes isn't going to come in and be an all-star right away, kind of sarcastically speaking. But I think there's enough good stuff where enough good traits where we're very excited to see him play. And that's what I mean. I think Canucks fans, we're smart enough to manage our expectations, to temper our expectations. But in another season where we're not in the playoff race, where we will not be playing in the postseason, we have the right. We should feel good. We should get excited about a talent like Quinn Hughes. And both of those coaches that I just referred to called him elite. He was elite at their level, the levels that they coached him at, and then that he has the potential to be an elite defenseman in the NHL. And that gets me pretty excited to hear those words, elite and defenseman, put together, because the Canucks, you could argue, have never had a truly elite defenseman in their 49-year history. So I put a poll up in anticipation of this video saying, out of all these Quinn Hughes attributes or strengths, what are you most excited about? And I didn't put skating on there because I think that would be the runaway favorite. And I've posted videos on Twitter before about seeing him skate in the summer and how good he was. So the 4 options I did put was defensive zone exits, offensive zone entries, improving the Canucks power play, or overall his hockey IQ. So those were the 4 options. Have almost 300 votes just in 3 or 4 hours. And hockey IQ was at the top with 33%, and right behind it was improving the Canucks power play with 32%. And then it was a small drop. Then it was offensive zone entries 18%, and then defensive zone exits 17%. So again, it was hockey IQ 33%, improving the power play 32%, offensive zone entries 18%, defensive zone exits 17%. And you could argue that you could put them all together. He can use his hockey IQ in exiting his defensive zone, entering the offensive zone, especially on a power play, and improving the Canucks power play. And I think it just speaks to how good he's going to be. And of course, you have to manage expectations. But hey, we're excited. I think I've said that about 4 times because I'm excited. But you can picture it. I can picture Quinn Hughes breaking out, and I've seen it, breaking out of his own, the defensive zone. And we know the Canucks, especially guys like Goodbranson and Pouliot and Biega, actually Biega's pretty good, but Pouliot and Goodbranson, especially before he got traded, had a lot of trouble getting the puck out of our zone. Similarly, whether it's on the power play or even strength, the Canucks aren't always the best at gaining the zone. They're not as bad as the dump and chase teams we've seen in the past, but still, maybe they lug it over or they chip it in as opposed to dump it in from the center, but maybe they chip it in, chase it, but they still don't have a lot of players that I consider really good stick handlers, and a lot of them can handle the puck fine, adequately, but how many of them can truly enter the zone with speed, looking dangerous? I'd say Horvat, I'd say Pettersson, I'd say Goldobin, Virtanen sometimes, although he's kind of predictable, and maybe Brock Besser when he feels like it's. I don't mean that disrespectfully. I just mean sometimes Besser isn't always there for him. But Quinn Hughes should help that, obviously, and Quinn Hughes should help the power play, especially the way. And I talked about this yesterday. The way not only can he pass and see things with his hockey IQ and his vision, his creativity, but simply changing the angle, being such a good skater where he can walk the line, so to speak, or jut in a few feet and jut out. It's always about changing the angle, not only to get away from the opposing forward who's trying to block the shot, which is the first line of defense, obviously, for a penalty kill, but changing the angle so it makes his passes to the sideboards or down low less predictable. And I talked about this yesterday, the fact that the Canucks power play is predictable. One guy, Stetcher or Edler or Hutton, stands on his skates on the top, and then he tries to feed Pettersson on the right or Besser on the left. But there's not a lot of movement from the D-man itself. With Quinn Hughes, once they gain the zone and set up possession and gain control of the puck, you can see him walking the line, jutting in and out, changing angles, and getting the puck to his teammates. So that's another thing I'm excited about, and that's why I think 32% of you said that hopefully you're looking forward to him improving the Canucks power play. So many great things to look forward to in Quinn Hughes' game. It's just a matter of when he will actually start to play. And not to sound like a broken record, but I keep saying, don't forget, he burns year 1 of his contract, the first game he plays, and the Canucks got to keep him to 10 games or fewer. Otherwise, he'll be considered a third-year pro by the time the Seattle expansion draft comes in. So 10 games or fewer, that's the magic number. The Canucks keep him to that, and they will not have to use a spot to protect him. They will not have to protect him in the expansion draft in a couple of years. But with Hughes' injury, his ankle injury, I'm sure we'll learn more today and tomorrow. naturally he might miss the first 1 or 2 games here, and then it won't be so hard to manage that 10-game number. Although selfishly, I kind of want to see him on Friday. I'm going to the Canucks Devils game. I want to see him play on Friday, but of course only if he is 100% healthy. Canucks fans, leave a comment below. I love to read, react, and reply as always. Are you as excited, there it is again, that word, as for Quinn Hughes as I am? Are you tempering your expectations, or are you putting expectations through the roof for this guy because we want good, exciting, happy things to think about? Leave a comment. Like I said, I'll do my best to read, react, and reply to it. Subscribe if you like to. Like this video if you like to. Canucks and the Rangers tomorrow, March 13, my lovely wife Gail's birthday. So I'm sure I'll give a shout out to her tomorrow in tomorrow's video, although she doesn't watch these videos, and then so she won't even know, but I can tell her that I gave her a shout out, and then I'll preview tomorrow's game, and maybe we'll get some more news on Quinn Hughes. Talk about him for a 4th or 5th straight day. Have a great day. God bless, and go Canucks go.